What's going on, guys? Hit Squad here again. Back at it with another video. So the Giants just won. Logan Ryan had that game-winning interception. So the total was 23-20. Giants now improved to 2-7. Alfred, let me just say this: if the Giants played the Washington football team 8 times a year, we'd be an above 500 team. Let's just be honest. This game was a lot closer than I wanted it to be. You know, it was 23-10. Washington is building momentum. Then you have Evan Ingram dropping that ball that was perfectly placed right in his chest. I don't know why he jumped. Someone needs to tell Evan Ingram he needs to catch the ball better. Now, Evan Ingram did have that diving touchdown, which it was nice to see him catch a ball. It was nice to see him in the end zone, but Evan Ingram needs to play better. Daniel Jones had a decent game. I know he didn't have any turnovers, but there were moments I was a little bit nervous, especially towards the end of the game where, I'm very used to Daniel Jones turning it over at the end of the game, so I thought that it was going to happen. But it didn't, thankfully, and our defense really stood out. Our defense was able to put pressure on Alex Smith and Kyle Allen, were able to get to the quarterback. The defense had 5 turnovers the whole game. And, Jabril Peppers came up clutch with that interception. At that point, I thought the game was over. I thought that we could at least run the ball, pick up a first down or two, and close out the game. We couldn't. It looked like on that drive, Daniel just didn't know how to play football. Like I said, Daniel Jones had a decent game, but the only reason why I'm saying decent is that he's only playing good against the Washington football team. I'll give him more credit when it's a different team besides Washington. Until then, I gotta say it's decent. Austin Mack looked good. He had that nice 50-yard receiving, that 50-yard catch, excuse me. He almost had a touchdown as well. But he was short of the goal line, and that's fine too. It looked like he was able to get the most out of the reps that he was given, and I really liked seeing him in the game. He looked natural. Darius Slayton. He looked pretty good too. I wanted to see him get more touches. I wanted to see him get more catches. But I'm glad that he was used in the role that he was used. Um, I'm really loving this offensive line. I mean, I understand that for a couple drives they took Andrew Thomas out of the game and put Matt Peart in there starting at left tackle, which I want to get all of our players experience. I'm sure there was a reason why they took Andrew Thomas out of the game. I understand he had 1 sack. I believe it was in the first half, if not like the third quarter. But I want to go back and watch to see if how many pressures he gave up. But there was a play in the fourth quarter, right after Jabril Peppers had picked it off, where Daniel Jones took a sack. Typically, which I thought this was a great play for Daniel Jones. Typically, a play like that would lead to Daniel Jones fumbling the ball. And he held on to the ball. I'm proud of Daniel Jones for doing that. I'm proud of, if the receiver's not there, throwing it out of bounds. That's what I want to see. We need to see that more consistently. But overall, I'm happy with how the team played. The first half was dominant. It was everything that you could want. All sides of the ball were clicking. And then it seemed in the second half, the Giants kind of took the gas off the pedal. And, it really ended up almost costing them the game, which I think that if the Giants would have lost this game against Washington, um, the the talk for Daniel Jones being replaced would have been a lot louder. Let's just say that for sure. But like I said, this defense really came clutch for us today. Offensively, the Giants are getting it together, but they still have a lot of things that they need to work on and improve on. Um, I'm interested to see what's going to happen now with Golden Tate, considering that we brought in Dante Pettis, considering that it looked like Austin Mack, could be a solid depth piece on our active roster. So I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with him. But overall, like I said, the team played pretty good today. We have a lot of things that we need to clean up offensively. I really like how we're running the ball. This was our fourth consecutive game where we had over 100 rushing yards. Wayne Gallman is, powering through the line. He's looking good. Deion Lewis was running hard. Alfred Morris was running hard too. And, I was texting a friend of mine saying, if these running backs are running hard through this offensive line that's still growing, still young, and obviously they're still developing chemistry. How is Saquon going to do coming off of this injury? And I think that if Saquon comes off of this injury, the surgery was successful, but if he comes off this injury and plays anywhere near than what he was playing prior to the injury, I think Saquon could do really good behind this offensive line. There's still things that the offensive line needs to work on. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to hype them up too much, but they've been playing pretty solid the last couple weeks. Better than the beginning of the season. But like I said, even in the beginning of the season, it's going to take time for this offensive line to come together. It's going to take time for this offensive line to gel. And that's what we're seeing. We got some young pieces. We got some young talent on this roster overall. But it's nice to see this team grow and learn together every week. Daniel Jones, like I said, he has things he needs to improve on, but I think he's getting more comfortable in this Jason Garrett scheme. You saw that he looked comfortable for most of the game. Fourth quarter, he looked kind of shooken up a little bit, but he's going to improve week in and week out. At least that's what we hope. This team is improving week in and week out. Leonard Williams had a pretty good game too. He was able to develop a lot of pass rush, and that's what I like seeing from Leonard Williams. It looks like he's doing really good in this Patrick Graham scheme, and that's very exciting to see. I wanted to see more Dexter Lawrence. He's been really quiet. In my last video, I said that he was one of the players I was looking out for because he has been quiet. This wasn't really anything different. He was still quiet for most part of the game, but he played fairly solid. Leonard Williams looked good. Shout out Blake Martinez. He looked really, really good. He had that clutch interception. And like I said, I think that this team is coming along and improving. We're going to see them improve and grow throughout the year. And I hope that we could keep this momentum against Philly next week because we should have beaten Philly the last time we played them. I'm sure the Giants are going to go in with, a lot more energy and more pumped up to prove a point. At least that's what I'm hoping. Let me know what you guys think below. This is Brooklyn Hit Squad. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take it easy.